Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Leopard Prototyp A. It's a tier 9 German medium tank. It's located on the north spawn of Siegfried Line Encounter, and it's under the commands of the BassmanFromHell. Yes, this is another replay where he's featuring in the Leopard Prototype. The last one, he was actually in platoon with Royal Flying Corps, and they both had Leopard prototypes. But this time round, Royal Flying Corps has decided to take the Centurion 7-1. Now in that last battle on Muravanka, the baseman actually disconnected during the game, and so he was inactive for a fair amount of time, and as a consequence he didn't get as much damage as he wanted to, but the Royal Flying Corps managed to get a huge amount of damage, and baseman didn't come off too badly. He did reconnect and was able to get some damage on the enemy in the end. Okay, he's made his way up to the gates, and he spotted an enemy Centurion making his way past the bunker. Looks like he's headed for the centre line. Nice shot! He managed to get 400 hit points, which is a low roll because the alpha for this gun is 420. It's a 105mm gun based on the L7A1, the British gun, but built by Rheinmetall instead. Well, he was spotted by the Centurion, but he managed to armor-rack the guy, and so he went up in one swoop. He got 187 hit points from that. Now he's hugging this wall, desperately trying to stay unnoticed, because there are some enemy tanks out there who could badly damage him, including that ISU 152K who's got the BL10 gun. He's now looking at a Lansen C, which is the Swedish medium. Oh! Now that hurts. That's the GW Tiger P. Just hit him with a big hit, 419. And he lost his optics and his gun. Hasn't used his repair kit yet, but really ought to. He's lost his driver. Now he can do without the driver on this vehicle for a moment, but if he goes without it for too length of time, then he might find it difficult to run away from the enemy if he needs to. That IS-32 is actually proving to be a big problem, because it's not that he's doing any damage, it's more the fact that he's spotting for the GW Tiger P, who's probably about reloaded by now, and might be able to fire another round in and hit the basement. And he also doesn't want to get hit by that ISU 152K because he can do 750 alpha, but luckily the Chrysler K's just finished him off. See where that shell landed, it right on the side of the vehicle near the engine bay. He was lucky it didn't set fire to the fuel tanks. Still can't get a shot. He hasn't got great gun depression, he's only got 8 degrees, which means that he can't really get a shot on the IS-32 for the moment. But he might be able to shoot that Lansen C. Where is he? There he is. The trouble is he's in the dip now, so that round didn't do any good at all. Standard reload is 10.1, is it 10.6? No, it's 10.16 seconds. And he's got an 8-second reload, 8.07. Now this is not good because there's now 2 enemy tanks nearby who've got double guns. The IS-32 and the 7032. So he's deciding he's going to pull back and disengage from these guys because he doesn't want to get double tapped by 2 tanks at the same time. He'd be out of the game just like that. Nice shot into the Lansen C, 485, which is a high roll. Can he get another one to kill the guy? Yes, he does. So 2 kills now for Baseman. We do have control of the cap area for the moment, but whether or not that will stay that way, we don't know, because we're 3 tanks up on the enemy. See Royal Flying Corps is actually sitting behind the bunker. I suppose from that position he can stop the IS-32 from moving up. But I also have the feeling that BassmanFromHell wants to actually get around the enemy and shoot them in the flanks. So the best way to do that is to travel over to the west side of the map into the field and just to head south. Now he might meet some enemy tanks when he does this. In fact, he's now got shots in the IS-3 too, but he doesn't penetrate with that shot. He's firing standard APCR, which is capable of 420, penetrating 278mm, and with the premium APCR, he'll do 323mm. Okay, Centurion's moved up, going after the IS-3 too. Getting rather interesting now because the enemy's kind of being compressed into that corner, but there's still that GW Tiger P who was last seen near spawn point 1, and in fact he has now been killed, and he was taken out by our Arty, the M40 M43. So Bassman's headed south just to see if there's anybody else out in the field area. There might be. It is possible that somebody is sniping from up on this hill. Nope, they're not here. So it's a case of heading into the field, not into the field, into the enemy rear and taking out the enemy from behind. Oh, that Progetto just went down to another Leopard Prototyp on the enemy team. We can see that Royal Flying Corps moved a little closer. He's left the bunker and he's now picking up some damage on the enemy tanks, including a Progetto 46. Nice shot, and that's Bassman's third kill. So Royal Flying Corps got to catch up with two tanks if they're going to get a brothers in arms together. And we found that Leopard Prototyp. Unfortunately, that shot goes flying right over the top of him. But it does look like he's headed this way, and he bounces around off the side. In fact, I think the round actually buried itself in our tracks. Here he comes. He's using the bank. That's a nice shot because it tracks him, but he did take a round, but a low roll from the Leopard Prototyp. Wait for the reload, and yes, gets that one in, tracks him again. Unfortunately, this one ammo-racked him, so he has to fix that straight away. Next shot might be able to kill him. He does. And now he's got real problems because this is an Object 704, which is tier 9 tank destroyer. But he's getting some assistance from a T-26E5. Now, if he can drive around the back and shoot that guy in the side, that will help a great deal. That one didn't hit. Hit the fence posts of the house. Have a quick look behind him. It's a T44 and a 53 TP. The scores are even now, so the enemy's managed to claw a lot back. And oh, that was so close. He didn't pen, but the 704's got a very long reload time, which means now if Bassman can get behind him, that's going to count. But he's got the wall to back up against, which means he can turn round. But Bassman's going to get one more shot in before he does that. He does get a hit. Unfortunately, now he's going to take another hit from the 704 if he doesn't stop the guy backing up. But he's doing a very good job at stopping him. Takes another round from a Char Future 4. He's down to minimal hit points, which makes him a one-shot. But he takes out the Char Future, and that gets him a top gun. There's only two enemies left. One of those has just been killed, the 53 TP, which leaves a T44. Now, he is on minimal hit points. It was unfortunate that the Char Future 4 fired a heat round at him. Took away most of his hit points. Bare minimal now. But he can take that T44 out and get his 7th kill. There he is. Oh, it ricochets off. And we didn't see Royal Flying Corps die during that previous exchange, but the T-44 has been killed, so it's a victory. Here's the end of battle results, and it was an ace tanker for the Bassman from Hell in the Leopard Prototyp A. Not the first ace tanker he's had in this vehicle, because he hasn't got any scrolls underneath. He did get a demolition expert because he blew up one of the enemy tanks with one of his shots. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. He also managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemy tanks, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 9 in total. In fact, I just remembered the tank he managed to detonate or explode was actually the Centurion 1, and he fired that round out in the field and it just blew up the ammo rack. He got 6 kills in the game, which gives him a top gun, and his win 8 from the battle was 8,070, which is high super unicum. So let's have a look at team score. Got the highest damage on overall, actually, with 4,950 hit points. The next high scorer was the Leopard Prototyp A on the enemy team with 3,067, followed by their Future 4 with 2,862. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 6, the next highest being the Leopard Prototyp A of the enemy team with 3, and then there was 5 tanks with 2 kills apiece, including the T26E5, the Progetto 46, the Future 4, the Lanson C, and the Object 704 of the enemy team. The Lanson C managed to get a tank sniper by doing a lot of shooting at long range. The Centurion 1 managed to get a Confederate, even though he got blown up. And he also, the Panther 88 also got a Confederate in that game. And the IS-32 got a cool headed. When it came to base XP, yes, he's got the top in that one as well. So top in all 3 columns. 1,392 goes to Bassman, 981 goes to the Centurion 1, and 880 went to the T26E5. If we look down the list, we can see Royal Flying Corps did fairly well in that game, but about the same as Bassman did in that Muravanka game that we saw earlier on our channel. 2,221 hit points to him, 1 kill and 807 base XP. It's about the same measure of result that Bassman ended up with, but of course he disconnected for about 2 minutes during the game. So let's have a look at detail. 23 shots fired, 19 direct hits, 14 penetrations, damage of 4,950 hit points, of which 2,271 were at more than 300 meters. He received 5 hits from the enemy, 3 of those penetrated, 1 non-penetration and 1 hit by way of splash damage. That was the big hit that came from the GW Tiger P. He also blocked damage of 420 hit points, that was the non-penetration. And I suspect that came from one of the enemy tanks. I think it may have been, well, we'll have to look later into the results, see who it was. But it probably was the Leopard Prototyp on the enemy team. He spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 6, did 2,063 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 76,070 credits, and after ammunition resupply and repair, he actually took away 32,046 credits. Got 26 bombs, and 2,088 XP times 2 for the first victory, took away 4,176 experience points altogether. I'm afraid my bird is singing quite nicely because, of course, it's very early in the morning. He would be doing that this time of the day. But yes, he's been listening to me comment on videos all night. So, very good game by Bassman. Shows that after that Muravanka game where he actually disconnected, he can actually play this tank very, very well. And he didn't get the opportunity to show his capabilities in that battle, but he certainly showed it in this one. And I think that it may be that Royal Flying Corps was kind of handicapped by playing in the Centurion 7-1 on this occasion, because it's not as fast and as mobile. It doesn't have the capability of the Leopard Prototyp, which of course he played very well in the Muravanka game. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below to feed the algorithm. And And happy birthday again to the Bassman from Hell. And this is the last video we're doing for him for today. And thank you for watching.